Another story that's on our radar this week with one of our producers, Johanna Hoos. Joe, in Yemen, bombs continue to claim civilian lives. Dozens more were killed there this past Thursday. And CNN recently produced a report that was a little bit different in that it looked into a couple of angles on the bombing of Yemen that don't get much coverage. What did that report actually examine?
CNN was reporting on that airstrike on August 9th by the Saudi-led coalition, the one that hit a school bus, killing 40 children. The piece was different in two ways. First, CNN's senior international correspondent, Nima Elbagir, reported that the bomb had been supplied by the U.S. government as part of an arms deal with Saudi Arabia. Second, there was this graphic revealing the names of U.S. weapons manufacturers, companies like Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, and General Dynamics, whose arms have been used in various airstrikes in the past. That graphic went viral, and many of the tweets mentioned how rarely the media reports on the role played by the US and even the UK in selling weapons to Riyadh. The US also helps with the targeting of those weapons. I spoke with Elbagir about the piece.
We have actually consistently referred to the Saudi-led coalition as US-backed. So this isn't a new element that's come into our reporting. It was important to talk about the bomb and who made that bomb, especially because we knew that the specific technology that was used, the laser-guided technology that was used in this particular strike, was technology that President Obama had banned the sales of because of human rights concerns. And that ban was then overturned by President Trump. So we knew that this was a really important element, and it was one that it was incredibly important to get out there to our audience as they worked through how they felt about the war in Yemen.
Still, it's only one piece, albeit an informative one, on a story that doesn't get nearly the news coverage that it deserves.
Considering that the UN has declared Yemen the world's worst humanitarian crisis, definitely not. This war, and not just the UK and US involvement in it, has been extremely underreported. Amnesty International calls it the forgotten war. Elbagir spoke to me about some of the factors that make reporting on Yemen so difficult.
I think often what people presume to be a disinterest on the broader parts of the media is actually just an inability to get on the ground. We are trying in different ways. We are learning as we go along, as are other people in the media landscape. How are we going to report on this war that is in a place and a conflict that oftentimes people don't really have a great deal of knowledge on, but also that is incredibly difficult to get access to. And I think we're trying our best to figure it out as we go along.
And it's important to note that access to the war front in Yemen isn't just being limited by the Saudi-led forces, but also the Houthi-led government that has been very hostile to the media.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Turning now to